There was a great response to the Tim Ferriss, Chris Summers Gymnastics interview video that I did. One question that I did get asked a lot is if I had done the fundamentals course that they talked about or any of their other courses and what I thought about them. So the answer is yes, I did do the fundamentals course, and I'm currently in the middle of doing their handstand course. So each day is a video on one movement. A lot of the movements are tied into mobility, and some, if you do yoga, they would actually seem pretty familiar. There's the lizard pose, there's an ape walk, there's some good mobility twists, straight leg bear walk. It's very much an introductory type course in the sense that it just sort of exposes you to a few different mobility moves. It doesn't really go anywhere. So there's no rep scheme by design, because they don't want people to force themselves to do a certain number of movements if this is like the first time they're ever really doing any kind of mobility work. With each movement, they sort of show you the target, and then they have some scaled versions if you don't have the mobility yet to do that target. From a coach's perspective, I did pick up a few handy tips. Basically, my thoughts on the fundamentals. If you do CrossFit, or if you have some familiarity with gymnastics moves, or not even gymnastics moves, just yoga poses, mobility poses, I'd say the fundamentals is worth a skip. If you're a coach, there are a few corrections and scalable things for some movements that I did find handy. There's a couple of good mobility movements. There's a few movements in there that I've actually incorporated into mobility work post-workout as a group. So there's a couple things I picked up as a coach, but as me as an athlete wasn't that useful. But I did sign up for the handstand course. After completing the fundamentals, I still was curious. I liked what they were doing, and so I wanted to try the handstand course. I wanted to focus on something a little bit more CrossFit specific because that's sort of my focus right now. So handstand seemed like a pretty cool thing. I mean, A, when you can do a handstand, a press handstand, it's pretty badass. B, just getting upper shoulder strength and working on shoulder mobility strength is like a win-win. It's, transferring to other things. It seems like it is gonna storm right now. So the handstand course, from a user end, it's totally different than the fundamentals in the sense that there is a structure, there is a progression, you must master this step before doing the next step. There's a bunch of strength training modalities, or pretty much movements that each movement has a progression that you have to master before getting to the next one. A lot of them are for wrist and shoulder strength. And then the handstand itself has a huge series of progressions to actually getting to a press handstand. So for instance, I started with like a tripod or table with both hands and head on the ground, and then just tucking my legs in. Once I was able to demonstrate that I could master that, then legs extended, so table position, hands down. Currently, I'm doing headstand progression, so I do 4 sets of 36 seconds of headstand holds, working up to 5 sets of a minute. Once I can prove I can do that, then I go on to the next step. On a good week, I do 4 sessions a week, but you can do it from anywhere from 1 to 7 days, but that's probably not the best. I found each session takes about 20 to 30 minutes. I usually do it after my workout. So the cool thing is you sort of pick the days you want to do, and the computer itself will automatically schedule what you have to do for that workout. Then once you are ready to go through the workout, you start the workout, and it has a video and a way to log everything that you are doing for the day, and if you hit all the reps you're supposed to do or how many reps you do hit, and then it'll adjust what step you're on. If you, let's say you start a new movement but you can't hit any of the reps, it'll like drop you down, or it'll properly adjust where you're supposed to be based on how much work you complete. So I've been working on headstands for a while. Some people have said that my headstands have drastically improved. I feel like it's working. I feel like I'm definitely getting stronger in my upper body. So the handstand course, I could definitely recommend. The problem with doing any sort of online course is you don't really have a second pair of eyes to tell you if your form's good or if things are looking right. So I will film myself and go back and check. There is a helpful forum, and Coach Summers is on the forum, and he has replied to stuff that I've posted and questions that I've asked. So they are very responsive. So I hope this helped. Bottom line, if you have some sort of CrossFit or gymnastics or yoga background, you'll probably be pretty familiar with what's available in the fundamentals course. If you want to just overall get better at gymnastics, then yes, I could definitely recommend their foundation course, or if you want to work on a specific skill, I'm in the middle of the handstand course. Hope this helped. Subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you around.